I prophesied when I was 6 years old, and then nothing. For the next 20 plus years, that gift was completely suppressed. I was being molested. I was addicted to pornography. I was playing drums in church while dying inside. I was living a lie. On October 21st, 2021, I went through a 2.5-hour spiritual battle where a demon was forced to confess, I wanted him dead because of the work he's about to do. They're going to tear down our kingdom. This is the story of how I got to that night. Because if you've been marked for attack, if your gifts are suppressed, if you're fighting addiction, if you feel like you're living a double life, there's a reason. You're dangerous to hell. Check this out. How do you cope when you've grown up in church, get married, but are living a lie behind closed doors and your life is spinning out of control? How do you deal with the generational curses that you never knew you had and was never taught in church how to overcome? I was born into a big family. My father had 12 sisters and brothers. On my mother's side, she had 10 sisters and brothers. Dealing with generational curses and things like that, doesn't matter who you spend time with more. You know, those curses from both my mother's side and my father's side came out. I started prophesying around 6 years old. That was my first prophecy. And I believe that was my last prophecy also. During that time, I was being molested. I was angry, but holding it in. I was bitter. I had rage. And this was all from that door of molestation being open. One of my other cousins gave us a scrambler box. That was that door that opened up for pornography. I just always found myself just running. And it was the same with girls. You know, I was always looking for love, was never satisfied. Being in church, playing the drums for church, still was not developing my own relationship with God, but using all of these things and spirits that have entered to self-medicate. Growing up in church, I wasn't taught to deal with issues of life head on. Was still functioning as a church musician with all of these issues and strongholds. How do you make it through? My wife and I got married in the year 2000. After we got married, I left my family's church because I knew that if I would stay there, I would be divorced.
Hello, my name is Shanah Morehead, and I'm Greg's wife. So in our marriage, one of the major things that Greg struggled with was pride.
It felt like we were in the wilderness. Care about my last name, didn't care about who I was and everything. I was just tired of going through what I was going through, but didn't know how to get out of what I was in because I did not have a true relationship with God. The next thing I remember, she was on the wall and I blacked out.
I felt like I had to walk on eggshells when I was around him.
I just thought it was me, my personality. This is who I am. That contributed to my downfall and to me going downhill, not knowing how to love my wife, not knowing how to be the head of my home. I knew my family's God. I did not have that relationship for myself. I lay down and I told my wife again, I said, please, babe, don't let me get up. Don't let me get up. The enemy is telling me to go get my gun. All of what I was about to go through was spiritual and not natural. My world didn't change until I had my own encounter. I call it my transformation. October 21st, 2021. That was the day that my life changed for the good. In one night, God shifted my old way of thinking and renewed my mind. Who would have ever thought that I'd be able to see demons face to face? So that was October 21st, 2021, my transformation. But what actually happened that night? What did I see? What did the demon say? I threw up over 30 times. I saw demons face to face. I watched them flee when my wife spoke in tongues. I broke generational curses off of my children before they ever had to deal with them. And a spirit of murder confessed why it wanted me dead. That story, the full 1.5 hours, that's what I'm sharing next. But here's what I need you to understand. This isn't just my story. If you're under attack right now, if your spiritual gifts are suppressed, if you're bound by addiction, if you feel stuck, it's because the enemy knows who you're supposed to become in God. So hit subscribe, because next week we're showing you exactly what spiritual warfare looks like, and more importantly, how you win.